Hey, what's going on, South Florida? It's your girl, Can You See Willa. I'm back at it. We took some time off dealing with this pandemic. According to some of my friends, they say I don't say it correctly. So I'm practicing pandemic. So we're dealing with this pandemic. We're dealing with um, being locked in. We're dealing with social distancing. And we're dealing with the fact that we cannot congregate for church. So I'm bringing on today, was actually tonight, um, someone who has um, really mastered this Go Live thing that we've been doing. If you guys think back in the day, everyone was saying, "Oh, I don't want to go live at church. I don't want to just." Let's just say 10 years ago, people were saying that what is this Facebook and why are we going live? I remember when Facebook first sent out the link to go live from your phone as a feature. I didn't have a iPhone, hence when I became two phone users back then. So they send out an email and they say, hey, we see that you're very active. You're doing a lot of things on Facebook. You're sharing a lot of videos. Would you like to be a tester for the Go Live, for the Facebook Live? And I was like, okay, yes. And they said the qualifications is that you have to have a iPhone. At that particular time, I did not have an iPhone. I only had my Android. So what I actually did was I went out to T-Mobile, acquired a iPhone, and began to go live. That probably was probably about 3, 4, 5 years ago. As Facebook started to evolve in dealing engagement, what they did was they allowed us to bring people in. Um, and you were able to bring people in and go live with people on your screen. I think that, if I'm not mistaken with that, that probably was about 3 years ago. They were like, okay, now you can bring people in to do Facebook Live. However, there were companies that were complaining because companies like this company is very brand new, but there were other companies, which I'm not going to mention, that were like, hey, Facebook, you guys are cutting into some money because you're allowing people to bring people onto your Facebook Live. Let's just come together and figure this out. So now, in order to go live on Facebook, you literally have to have a software to bring people into your live, which is I'm using now, which is called StreamYard, that allows me to bring people in and allow me to stream live from Facebook, so that you're able to do that. And I think I found out at a class Facebook had probably about 6 months ago, and they said that they are no longer allowing us to bring people into the Facebook environment unless you're using a company, because one of the major companies that were utilizing the software actually went under. hmm Now Instagram is allowing you to do it, and but they have their own set of rules, so that is what it is. But tonight I am bringing you a gentleman that now is basically utilizing the platform to host church because, according to one of my friends that is in the industry, said pandemic, you're not able to actually have church together unless you have 10 people or less. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think that people should practice social distancing so that we all can get better and get on with our life, so that we're not kind of still doing the germ thing and everything. But tonight I have one of my pastors that I have grown to love, Pastor Rich. Pastor Rich is this is Pastor Rich, y'all. And he actually has a new campus, and it's the P3E campus, Back to the Basics. And he has a interactive sermon series that he's now doing Sundays at 3 p.m. And because of the pandemic, he can't congregate with his whole congregation. He has basically went live. If you're looking on Facebook, you'll see everybody is streaming live. When I tell you everybody's streaming live, everybody is streaming live. So this has become um, one of the new norms for the church. I know a lot of people were calling me. I, I, um, yeah, I want to send a shout out to my big brother, Michael Lee. I love you, Michael. If you haven't done it, please download the hit single "Don't Break" and be on the lookout for we're bringing the hit single um, Victory back. If you haven't heard that, he shared it today on his platform. So again, you guys, download and stream and stream. Streaming is so important, guys. Streaming is so important. And stream, that means, let me say that, play the hit song, don't break. But Pastor Pastor Rich, I went to visit his church, and I went to visit because I was invited by John Brown. If anybody knows John Brown is a firecracker for the Lord. John Brown, he will shout all day and all night, and I love him. And John Brown invited me um, to his church. He jumped in to do gospel karaoke, and I said, well, I tell you what, if I'm going to come and do gospel karaoke, I'm going to come and go to church with you first. And he was like, really? You know how John, really? And I said, yes, really. I said, it's very important that, I'm not just coming out there sitting outside in front of the church until you get out. Why not go ahead and fellowship with you? So I was able to fellowship. I got there a little late because I had went to an earlier service, and I got there just in time for praise and worship. And Pastor Rich brought the word. Now let me let you know, Pastor Rich preaches and teaches. Some preachers they grab the ear and grab back. That ain't Pastor Rich. Pastor Rich teaches, and I can really very comical man. He instills and puts things into you that you can remember the parables that in which he's given in the Bible. So I'm not, boasting and bragging about Pastor Rich, but he is a teacher and a preacher. We just waited for him to come on. But while we're doing that, let me just give a quick shout out to my sponsors. Everybody knows that Gillen and Co., which is her link is in the bio. Gillen and Co. pays the cost to be the boss. She basically pays for everything, y'all. She is one of our proud sponsors and proud sponsor of the platform, as well as several people. Michael Lee Music is one of the proud sponsors of it, as well as the Praise and Worship Experience magazine of the gospel. They are a proud sponsor of the platform, and also KRTG Radio on www.thegtempire.com. They are also a proud sponsor of the pop-up show. So again, we're just here tonight. We're talking about the sensation of everybody have to go viral. It is basically a new thing now that is the new norm, starting with the pandemic, that everyone has to now go viral at church. I remember, like I said, let's go back 10 years ago, everyone was saying, oh, we don't want to go live. We'll never go live. We can't go live. Now the phone calls are and the inboxes are hitting me up saying, Kenya, what system do you use to go live? Or how do you go live? Or what do you do? So popularity of people that basically stream are becoming very, very, very normal now, because what happens is we can't congregate in church. The musicians aren't needed. I love y'all musicians. But everything is totally where, with the social distancing, that in order for congregations to stream or to be able to engage is to go live. And that's basically the smaller churches are not able to go live. Some of the smaller churches with the smaller congregations, like my church is a smaller church. I belong to New Jerusalem Church of God in Christ. And we have a smaller congregation at this time. So what happens is we're not streaming. We're not streaming. It's basically, a smaller congregation of older people that we're not into the new, let's just say new millennial, where we're not streaming our services. So now, they're trying to find new ways and new things and saying, okay, well, let's do this on Zoom. Okay, but you're doing it on Zoom, but you're really not getting the exposure you need as far as getting other people to join your service or be able to engage with your service. So they say, well, let's do a conference call. Same thing. Zoom in the conference call is not going to allow the community or the people to be able to engage in your services. So now everyone is fishing around to say, what system can I use in order to engage, as far as um, being able to highlight the comments like this. Like as you see, Micah said, oh my God, I'm so excited. What topic is today? Ought to be able to engage. So everyone's fishing around now for great software in order to engage with their churches and still be connected from home, as far as also sowing the seed. Because at the end of the day, whether or not we're in that building still got to pay rent. The lights still got to be on, because when we get through with this pandemic, we still got to go back to the building. We can't say, well, we was in a pandemic and we didn't have no lights and the lights are not on, and so far before on. So just to let you know, that everyone is fishing right now to find a way to stay connected to to church, to stay connected to the concerts, and again, my software, which is StreamYard, I kind of love it. I love it a lot. But we got the man of the hour here, so let's just bring Pastor Rich in. Hey, Pastor Rich, how you doing?
Hey, good evening. What's going on, sis? Kenya.
What is going on, Pastor Rich? I'm glad to have you here tonight. And just make sure to check my headphones. How are you? You hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Can you turn it up just a little bit
Hold on, let me turn it up just a little bit. How's that?
on your?
How's that?
Okay, okay,
You
let's
good?
run with that.
All
Yeah,
right, so listen, I just want to bring you on because well one you're like one of my like third pastors. I have like a couple pastors and you're like my third pastor. I know I
I'm
need to
bringing the
come.
camera in closer.
You bringing the camera in closer? Put your
Yeah,
glasses on. You can't see. I'm just joking. Listen, one thing I can say about Pastor Rich is he's a person. You know how some pastors are like up here till they can't have fun. Working with him in Pompano let me know that he's just like everybody else. When I work with him, he is a funny guy. He is down to earth. You know, sometimes you're like I don't want to deal with these preachers because they too holy.
I
Pastor
ain't
Rich,
one of them.
he ain't one of them. I'm here to tell y'all that the most fun I've ever had at an event was with Pastor Rich. We had so much fun
Yes, we did.
from the beginning to the time you called me to the time you basically to the time you said, Kenya, thank you for everything, and we packed the car up. So I just want to thank you for that experience and just being a really good pastor because it's not every day you can just be serious. I remember my
Thank
pastor told me one time, he was like, even though he's my cousin, he was like, I'm still your pastor, call me pastor. You know, and I was like, Rich. He was like, what's up? So I just want to thank you so much for just being, before you was a man of God, you still was George, and
Yeah,
you still who you are. So welcome to my platform.
thank you for having me. And just some words back on that. That I just believe that God has called me to the common people, and if those are the folks who I am going to reach, then my name has to go before my title. So I'm blessed to serve, and I'm also blessed to be a part of your platform tonight, sharing with you and your audience, and maybe even some of my pastor friends that are out there who may be dealing with this transition of moving their ministry to online.
Right, because I have so many people that are calling me right now, and they're like, Kenya, what system do you use? How does it work? I'm like, listen, y'all, go to YouTube because I can't. I just.
It's a lot of work.
You know, I'm being honest with you. It just before I actually launched this software. I bought the software in January, and I didn't launch the
Hmm.
software until April because it took me months of trying to figure out how to do it. Okay, what do you do? Just playing around
Right.
and practicing. So when I'm trying to tell people how to use it, and they're like, "But what if?" I'm like, "See, you know what? This is what you need to do. You need to go to YouTube because I can see that we not. You asking a lot of questions, and I'm telling you, and you telling me, go to YouTube, spend your day researching on what is good for you to use because it just ain't working for us. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm like, you know, that's what we need to do. But I again, I do want to say that I see that you mastered it.
Well, I'm trying. I wouldn't call myself a master, but I'm figuring this thing out as we go too.
So the P3, I know you moved. Congratulations on the move.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I see that you did move. When I went to visit, you were out off of Power Line, and now you're off of Dixie now,
Atlantic Boulevard.
Atlantic Boulevard. So congratulations on the move. I got to get down
Thank
after
you.
this. I can't come right now.
Right. Listen, I ain't gonna be there right now.
We're not coming right now. We're not coming right now.
Please don't come right now.
Listen,
We are running low on sanitizer and Lysol. Don't come now.
listen. I tell people all the time that the only way we're going to beat this thing is if we actually everybody just stay inside. I know
Yeah.
everybody wants to go out. Everybody wants to support people, but we can't do it. We got to stay inside. Listen,
Yeah.
uh,
I kind of wrestled with that some too. When we first closed down services on them last Sunday, that was a big anxiety for me. Just being a pastor, being a spiritual leader, making sure that you hear God and not just man. But at the end of the day, that I just saw it as wisdom. That this is not a matter of faith. This is a matter of wisdom. When you look in the Old Testament, and
Right.
when I believe it was Pharaoh or the king at the time was killing all of the firstborn males of the people of God.
Right.
It was wisdom and obedience that says put the blood over your doorpost.
Mm.
Now, it's not a matter of faith that sure God can protect us. So let me just not put the blood on my doorpost and then let me go on out and just do me. But it's wisdom that is going to preserve the children of God in this season. It is not a matter of faith, whether you are open or closed. My prayers are with those pastors who are still having church. I will not demonize them. But if that's truly what they feel led of the Lord to do, by all means do it. But don't criticize those who choose to function in wisdom
Right.
over faith and possibly folly or foolishness.
Right. Because the thing is, I was trying to tell someone like, listen, even with working, I still go to work every day. And,
Mhm.
they said you got to put on this, you got to do this, got to put your gloves, put your mask on. And I'm in an essential environment. But the
Yeah,
thing is, until we actually just everybody stay in their house, until we clear up who has it, we're
right.
going to keep going into the same thing. And the churches are like, oh, faith over fear. Listen, when it first came out 3 weeks ago and they said there's a pandemic,
Hmm.
I have not went to church. I
Hmm.
limit the play. I'm a person that love to go places.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was supposed to be at 3 concerts, and I was like, listen, I ain't going. It was like, but you, I said, I'm not going because at this point, I'm already asthmatic. And my doctor said to me, like, Kenya, you can't take the risk.
Not a good man.
You can't take the risk, even though they give us medicine to kind of like fight it off. Shout out to the doctors helping the asthma patients, but I can't take the risk of going out and getting it because I'm saying that I want to go out and support someone. I'm gonna support you from
I
right
agree.
here on this side here. If you want to come over here, do an interview about what you're doing, I'll give you that. If you want me to stream live for you from here, I can do that. But I won't be able to sit in your midst because you never know who has the virus. And the thing is, it's not showing up in everybody.
Correct. Correct. So you could actually have COVID-19 and not show symptoms for over 5 days.
Right.
So now this is another question. Who remembers exactly what they did 5 days ago? Who they came in contact with, where they were, what were they doing, and all of the details in that. That is the danger in it, is because those who are going to gather at these non-essential places, they could possibly be carrying this virus, not showing any symptoms, but yet able to pass it along. And it's not just via human to human touch, but it could be human to surface touch, and that surface is still carrying some of that live and active virus. So I don't get me started.
No, we. This is what I'm being honest. This is why I wanted to bring you on because this is hot topics. I know you keep it real, and the scary part about it is we're seeing on Facebook every day. Oh, this person is in the hospital. This person is dying.
Pastors, church
Did
mothers,
Did you see
deacons,
Koji? Did you see Koji?
bishops.
They all went to a funeral 5 days later. It's like, so I mean, major people that plays a part. And I'm Church of God in Christ, and I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa, Bishop Sheard and his wife, they
right,
both got, they they
right.
they're doing better. But then you got a bishop, a superintendent, and then auxiliary worker all died. A young lady was on Facebook from South Florida stating her father passed away. She can't even fly out
I saw that.
because because she
Yeah,
basically
that hit
saying,
home.
I'm like, whoa, because you can't fly or the domestic is down. So it's just that I feel personally like this is to the point where,
Hmm.
like everybody's saying tomorrow, you got to have faith to fear, and 10 people are going to sit over here, 10 people are going to sit over here. Um, what if that one person
That's not even what church was designed for. All this separation, that group over here 6 feet apart.
That
This is insane. Like that is not the Acts 2 model. Was, yes, they met in churches and in small groups, but it was not 6 feet apart.
right,
And
right.
it was not limited to 10 persons in a group. This is not about someone trying to receive some private revelation of God and say that this is the new way to do church. No, it's not. This is the time that the body of Christ should do what we should have always been doing, and that's pray and seek the Lord. God doesn't need anyone trying to explain his sovereignty right now. Just
That's it.
embrace who he is and have faith in the house.
That's the thing, and that's why I wanted to bring you on, because so many people are like, oh, I don't want to talk about it, and I think that it's okay to go because we can't have faith and fear in the same. Man, come on, it's not about faith and fear. It's about the fact that I'm seeing people go live from the. There was a young man from Miami. He went
Uh-huh.
live from the hospital. He owns a restaurant down in Miami, and he
Hmm.
went live and he said, "This is the worst pain I've ever felt in my life, and I wouldn't take this through nobody." And I'm like, Lord Jesus. And he was on live for probably about 45 minutes
Wow.
explaining the pain. And it's not like he was in New York. I'm talking about, this is a man in Miami, and
Wow.
everybody that's in our circle is actually liking it and saying get better. So that means that if you're in our circle, people that we know, common people we know, that means that people know. And
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that a lot of churches are saying no, it's okay. No, 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 because the person that and my doctor told me, this is what my doctor said to me. He said, Kenyon, he said, listen, it starts here. He said it's gonna go one or two places, out or down. If it goes down, it's gonna affect your lungs and get
Mm.
worse. If it goes out, it's airborne.
Hmm.
He said gonna go
Yeah.
out either way. He said, but when it goes down, it immediately affects your lungs, and then that's when you start breaking down, start getting the fever. So that's why he said to me, you need to gargle once every so often with salt and warm water, because the heat, the hotness kills it. So I be around here gargling, my throat just, I've been gargling, because that's it. Using my inhaler, thank God for the inhaler. So you're not you're scared because you're like, it's hitting close to home. When you have the whole fire department, they already has 4 firefighters that has the virus that are now in quarantine.
Mm.
Those are my first responders. So right
Right.
now, fire hit right now. What we gonna do? Cause all of them home
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
virus. You know.
So right, and like, again, not to belabor this particular point, because I think me and you are definitely on the same page. Is, again, that I don't want to necessarily demonize any pastors who feel led of the Lord to continue having church. But I would only say this: if you are continuing to have church, is that you are practicing the utmost highest sanitation policies and protocols as you can, and that's, everyone is hand sanitizing as they come in, washing their hands, no touch your neighbor. And I am a touch your neighbor preacher.
Amen.
But in this time and in this season, and maybe even afterwards, right? Because we are dealing with the pandemic of it. We are not really dealing with the recovery of it, where now people's understanding of perceptions and tolerances of church is going to change. Will we ever get back to the place and where we're touching our neighbors and we're greeting this, and we're doing all of these things, not out of fear, but just out of understanding how much is culture going to shift from how we had church 30 days ago
Right.
to how we're going to have church next year this time. What is it going to look like? Um, are people going to embrace more of online media ministry? Maybe. And the truth of that is that people have been embracing it for years. Even those that physically go to church, we still watch our favorite preacher, because everyone has a favorite preacher, which might not be your pastor, and that's fine. but your favorite preacher lives across the country. But thank God for social media, you can listen to your favorite preacher.
Yeah, I love Jamal. I love Jamal. I go to his
Right,
church every Sunday. So that's the thing, you know. So when Jamal, right? I don't go with. I love Jamal. So when Jamal,
right,
me and
right.
my cousin be like, "Oh, Jamal on. I missed church today. I ran late, so I'm gonna sit here and watch Jamal. I got my service in. It's Bedside
Yeah,
Baptist. So I think
yeah,
a lot of people now are going to, um, a lot of people now. Look at Michael. Michael Lee says, "Don't hug me, fist bump." I guess we're gonna be in the fist bump.
fist bump is too close. We elbow bumping over.
Oh, we elbow bumping. Well, it depends because some people arms are longer than others. So
Yeah.
a fist bump, I'm short, so that I can't fist bump you. But I mean, how did the transition go? I mean, I know you
Yeah.
probably had some members. I mean, some older members were like, "Oh, Pastor, you shouldn't be doing this. If we have the faith the size of a mustard seed, we gonna be all right, and God gonna keep us, and God gonna hold us." I know there was some of your members that had that mentality, that was fighting
Right.
against the transitioning from
Yeah.
let's sit in here Sunday morning and shout, because I know John Brown can't shout in,
Right. He
in
don't
his
can't
house.
shout because we online now.
Yeah. So what was the
So
transitioning like?
yeah, so I am blessed to pastor a church, growing church, of just under about 50 people. And we predominantly have a church age group is kind of less than 50, right?
Okay.
The few that are over 50, they are not grandmas, they are glam moms. You won't feel me?
Yes.
So they already are somewhat on social media and all of those things. So the transition from my people following suit wasn't as difficult as it was actually getting the Sunday morning stuff ready and produced. Because we have done pre-recorded and live stuff, not the
Okay.
entire time live. So when I first got into it, that I'm all amped and I'm ramped up about it. But then I got into it and I realized it's a whole lot of work. We spent about 15 hours last week producing a 1 hour show. you know, which was insane. But we was trying to give the best quality and effort as we could give, knowing that this may very well be the outlook of our ministry
Yes.
for weeks or even months to come. And sadly to say, that your boy was a cameraman, an editor, a stage manager, and producer.
It's a lot. Listen, people think because I sit behind this laptop that is easy. I have to, and the thing is about, and before you came on, I talked about it years ago when new technology came out. I would
Mhm.
sacrifice to buy it. I have the Mevo system. I have this system,
Mhm.
and they
Oh
were like
wow.
that. I was crazy. They was like, "King, why do you buy all this stuff?" I said, "There's gonna come a time when all this is needed." Now I have the Mevo, I have the 10-hour battery, I have all this stuff, and people used to laugh at me when I used to lug all this stuff out to these concerts, and I would go live. I
Mhm.
remember, like I was saying, Facebook had inboxed me and said, "Hey, emailed me." It was like, "Hey, I see you do a lot of videos. Would you like to be a tester for the new way we go live?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I
Mhm.
didn't have the
Wow.
iPhone. I didn't have an iPhone, so
Yeah.
that's why the first saga of the first two phones came about, because I had to run out and get an iPhone.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then, like I said, about the things started coming out with these different companies, started partnering with them, saying, "Okay, if you're gonna do this, we're not gonna make money because you can go live on Facebook. So
Mhm.
what are we gonna do?" Facebook said, "Hey, we're gonna cut out this. Let me pull you onto the camera thing," because companies like StreamYard is making saying, "Hey, let's do it this way."
Yeah.
So that's why they stopped us from being able to pull it in like here with Facebook, and
Uh-huh.
you have to get the software.
Right.
So
Right.
I tell people all the time, I say, "Listen, I can do your Sunday school from here if you need me to." "Oh, we okay." Now I can't. You heard my phone ring, right? The phone's been ringing all
Yeah.
day long, and
Kenya.
I'm just not answering it because I tried
Right.
to offer it to you and you wouldn't take it.
Listen, last week, man, just the number of pastors who were in my sphere of network and influence who I just never would have thought didn't have their hands around some level or measure of technology. To be on the phone last Saturday at 11 o'clock at night, helping a pastor set up some mechanism for online giving. In 2020, I just never thought that no one didn't have
Hmm.
anything like that. That like we had to quickly set up Cash App and PayPal, something quick, so that he can at least have a vehicle that his people could give online when they're not physically in church. Which is another shift, is that I think that it's going to force, and I don't want anyone to take this in a negative way, but I think it's going to force a changing of the guards, right? That is going to force those who have demonized Facebook, demonized social media, like they looking pretty strange right now.
Yeah,
Like they are,
yeah, yeah.
because
Yes.
what are you doing now? If you did demonize these things, the most honest thing that you could have came and did now is embrace it. But if you demonized it and now you're forcing your people to come to church because you don't have a way of going online, then something's wrong with that picture.
Right.
And are you going to church because you need the money? That is a real question, right? Or are you going to the church because you need something to feel validated? And in
Right.
this time of being quarantined, no one needs you. All of that needs to be kind of broken down. But I think that is going to force a changing of the guards in a perspective, or it's going to raise some people up who's going to meet the challenge.
It, it, People have to understand that, like, it's a young lady named T. Mill Curtis. She does a class Monday nights with pastors to teach them the importance of the platforms. You're
Yes.
savvy. You're savvy, so it's nothing there. But I had old school pastors calling me. I'm like, I'm not coming to your church. Can you come help me? I will walk you through it, bro. I'm not coming there. I'm
I'm like,
sorry. I'm practice. I love you. And I'm not being rude. I love you, but I tell you what we gonna do. You got an iPhone? Cause you gonna have to call me, and I'll walk you through this thing. But I
right.
ain't coming to your church. I don't want to go to work, but I have to because they call it essential. I said, listen, when I go home, I change clothes at the door. I ain't wiping down doorknobs because again, the scary part about things is like you said, it's 5 days. I have reached out to so many pastors and people and say, listen, I can help you build your platform where you can go live. Oh, we don't want to do that. God said you must come together. And when one or two are gathered in his name, we can't gather right now. So what we gonna do? What we gonna do? So I get what you're saying, and anything that it's a pandemic. God created everything. So what are we doing now to make sure that we're not, keeping it real, lose our sheep? Because if idle mind. Come on. If idle mind, here we go over sitting idle, and we can't get to our church, and our pastor's not streaming. We come over to P3, and we like, oh, I like his teaching. I
Right.
like the way he taught.
Yeah.
Then they looking cross-eyed at you because you were able to get the word out, and they done lost the member because he like, okay, I'm not getting this food over here.
Yeah.
And then when you
Yeah.
open back up, they over at your church, you like, oh, you took my member. No, I didn't take your member. But what did you do to engage your member? To make sure
Right.
that the engagement of your member, and I say this all the time, I throw craziness up on Facebook. This is a great time to be engaging. How many of our pastors have went onto our members page and say, hey, this is Kenya. I'm just checking
Yeah.
on you. Not in your inbox, not texting you. I'm sending you a message via my page to engage, to let them
Yeah.
people know this my member right here. Y'all don't touch that right there. I'm gonna make sure that she stay in line. And
Right.
just doing things to engage with our membership, engage with future members, new members, and let people know what's going on. I tell people this all the time. Are we now sharing? Like I see you. I saw you share something the other day, your story of how you went from working to not working.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and I could commend you on that. That your social media is just. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna be like him when I grow up. You know, I do
Listen,
social media, and I'm like, man, he making me want to go back to class because you put out some
listen.
great stuff.
Right. So, like I am a private person, right? So I may not post as often as some of my other colleagues or kind of bring people into my personal space, but I do try to put out meaningful content, right?
Right.
So when you come to my page, you might not see me in my PJs in my bed, but that I'm giving you something of quality and something that you can listen, watch, and take away from. And that I kind of figured out this whole, well, I'm figuring it out, this whole pixel thing, right? Facebook pixel guys, pastors, listen to me. Pastors and business owners, listen to me, right? So Facebook pixels, right? Facebook pixel is a code that is like a fingerprint on Facebook. You
Right.
you can take this fingerprint and put it on your website. And then everyone that goes to your website now has this fingerprint on their Facebook profile. So when you do a Facebook ad, all the people that have visited your website, you can now send them a specific ad. Now that is marketing like crazy,
I'm gonna need you to get
and
off
that is
my
going
page
to
telling
help
my
us stay
secrets.
engaged.
I'm
Huh?
gonna need you to start taking money out. I'm just joking.
Oh,
I'll
all
see
right.
you. I'm like, wait a minute. You won't. No, they do need this though. This is important, and Facebook did send out something about that recently. As a matter of fact, I'll send you the link that Facebook sent me about
Oh,
that because
awesome.
you know what? It's um, Facebook hosts, and this is the crazy part about it is I'm going to say this. Facebook hosts a seminar once a year in Miami,
Mm,
and when I go to this thing for 1 week, right, I see no one that looks like me.
get out of here.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I do see people that look like me, but you see them sprinkled.
Sprinkle.
And
Right.
a lot of
And
people,
are they from the faith community though?
they're
Mm,
all they're all promoters of clubs. Because when I get up there and I say, "My name is Kenya C. Willa, and we're keeping it real in the gospel," everybody look like the church is here. And you know, like the guy from Facebook, a guy say, "Oh, well, you know, we shouldn't cuss now," you know, jokingly. I say, "Listen, be
right.
yourself," you know. So when Facebook is owned by Instagram, and you know, Mark owns both of them, and then you know, Twitter, and then Periscope, and that's another thing that we have to touch on. Periscope, there needs to be a second stream that you can do Periscope through your services because, and I'm gonna
Wow.
tell you why. What happens is Periscope does not automatically goes to Twitter, which if your president is tweeting, that means that you're going to engage with more people through Twitter. I tell people all the time is two things that you should have is two tripods. If you're not using the software like I use right here, so this software allows me to stream to 8 different outlets at one time. Right now,
Wow.
I am streaming to Instagram. I'm sorry, I'm streaming to Facebook, and I'm streaming to YouTube at the same time. Now, had I
Really?
used all my platforms, I will be streaming to. I'm only streaming to the Hot Topic, but I can stream to GT Promotions, my pages, my groups, and I can stream to YouTube, and I can stream to other outlets out. So that's the important part. If you don't want to invest in something like this, which is like $50 a month, what you'll do is you'll get 2 cell phones and get you a good tripod.
Yeah.
And you'll stream to Periscope because what'll happen is you can stream that into the Twitter land. So
Wow.
now your sermons is reaching a whole nother environment of people. Secondly, as you know that Facebook has a lot of glitches because of the amount of people that are going online,
Yes, a lot of traffic now.
right? So they're basically going online, especially with the music. Facebook don't want to pay this BDS people their music. So Facebook don't want to pay for all that music. They're like, listen, I don't want to pay ASCAP, they 7 cents. So a lot of times they go in and they block your music if
Yeah.
not independent music. That's why you only see I play independent music artists because half of them ain't registered right. I'm just joking. I'm just well, you know they are.
Help the
But
people, Kenya.
Huh? Half of them ain't registered, so I can run their music. So what happens is, Facebook has a glitch, and you'll see it streaming. But if you're streaming to YouTube, you're streaming to YouTube. When you stream over to YouTube, YouTube doesn't have that same glitch because their bandwidths are higher. So they're
Mm,
capable of handling all this traffic that Facebook ain't doing. So
mm,
that's why you see a lot of people, you will stream live to Facebook and save it because you can
yeah,
save it. And once you save it, all those glitches will not be on your stream, and then you post it to your page. I tell people all
right.
the time, you can stream it live, post it, save it. It's a little bit of work, but it'll cut out all that glitching because the time that it's glitching, you're still recording.
Hmm. Yeah,
So I tell people, listen, Periscope is the best. Periscope allows you basically to actually go in and stream to Periscope, and at that same time, you'll be able to tweet your sermon out because they'll be able to say, oh, hey, listen, always remember this. I need you to like and share this because without engagement, it's going to go away. I should be
yeah,
giving a class right now too. But what happens
yeah,
is, I tell people all the time. People say, "Where did my post go?" Well, if only 5 people like your post, it's going to get caught up in the traffic.
yeah. And it's not gonna be seen.
Right. So what happens is Facebook works on engagement. So they say, "Oh, there's no engagement. Let me throw this away. Let me throw this away. Let me throw this away. Let me throw this away." So with things with highly engaged posts, it remains in the feed. That's why I can go back and like one of your pictures from 2008 and it pops up out of nowhere because
Hmm.
someone has engaged on that,
Right,
making it go back to the top.
right.
Making it go
Good
back to
stuff.
the
Y'all
top.
taking notes out there?
So what happens is a lot of people they underestimate me, Bishop. Listen, I call you Bishop. Lord Jesus, I'm giving up the title. They underestimate me and don't know that the wealth of knowledge and the things that I go to Facebook, I go to Instagram, I go to Periscope, I go to these courses so that I can learn. StreamYard, when StreamYard first came out, they had this big seminar. They had about 300 customers. Two young
Wow.
men, two young men came up with StreamYard because one of the other platforms were going under. And let me tell you, this young man, right now, as of today, major artists and major platforms have switched to this platform, taking them to over 50,000 customers since
Wow.
the pandemic.
Wow.
I'm talking about you go on
50,000
Facebook.
times 50. Y'all do the math.
Huh? They went from, I watched them every Sunday night. They had like, oh, we have 1,000 people have joined. They was excited about 1,000. About 6 months ago, they was excited about 1,000. And now
Wow.
that you go to YouTube and the YouTube streets with all the talk shows like this, they're using this software because it brings people in and you can't be together anymore. So you sitting wherever you're sitting at, I'm sitting in Fort Lauderdale. You don't flashed out on me, but
Right.
you're sitting home and we don't have to be. This is what I'm talking about, where we don't have to be together. So
Mm.
everyone is using this now. Pastor Rich, you left. Where you went?
Wait, I am still here. Still here. Hold on one second. Like I didn't know if this would take me off or not. I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Pastor Rich left. Oh, he blanked out. Don't do it tomorrow morning
No,
doing service now.
I'm right here.
Don't do it tomorrow morning because we're gonna say, "Oh, Jesus, they're coming." We're gonna be scared and stuff. And and the good part about it is we're basically building brands. And I was able to go to 10 churches last Sunday. I was like, all right, then let me go to the next church. I
You
visited ten
was
churches.
church hopping.
I church hop, and I sold the seed of $3 to all. I sold the seed of $3. Listen, it's one for the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. The $3 will take y'all a long way because if 10 more people do that, you got your money. But I know that I see that you're doing things. You're going back to the basics. So let me ask a question. Are you bringing your praise team in this week?
So no, no, not on this week. We had actually had a schedule that we was going to pre-record the first 2 Sundays, and then in the third Sunday we was going to bring the band and the singers. Kind of keep it fresh, keep it new, right? But then on Friday or this morning, one of them, Broward went under a stay home order, which changes the game again. So as we're getting used to one level of not being able to assemble, now here's another level saying that now people got to be home at a certain time. And when my people work, like at most churches, by the time they get off work, they go home and they do what they need to do, to have to come back out, produce a worship set, right? Is just too much. So, this has really changed things a lot. I don't know what's going to happen in the next Sunday, whether we'll have that live praise team experience or not. But who knows? We will see what the Lord says about it. But I'm definitely ready to incorporate live praise and worship music.
Okay, so if you want, I can run my software and they can stay home and you play the drum for one. This holds 6 people. I can bring 6 people
I
in.
saw
So
that. I actually saw something like that, right? And that's a lot of work, isn't it?
no, it's just I see. Well, I did it before. I've done it before, where I've brought different people in, and
Uh-huh.
actually, this is a good thing for Bible study as well because I did a Sunday school one time at the house, and I was able to. And I'm going to try to see if my family wants to do it tomorrow because I'm in Fort Lauderdale and they're in Delray. I'm gonna see if they want
Mhm.
to do a Sunday school from here because a lot of
Right.
times you can't really be wherever. But so what happens is you run the board. There's a board here in front of me, and I run the board, and I can remove myself and I can put y'all in and you can sing. John Brown can sing, and then your drummer, y'all can have church right here on my platform.
What?
Well, I don't know how to
And
sound. I don't know how to sound, but
right. Which is what I was going to ask. Will you be able to actually sync them? That's because sometimes when you're streaming, it's a slight
it's a slight
delay here
delay.
and there,
Yeah. No, well, I don't know how to
but
do
you never
that.
know.
I mean, you know what? Now I got to practice that because with the way in times with everything is going on, I just don't think that people should be places because as I'm studying and as my doctor, because I do have a respiratory doctor I have to see because I do
Mhm.
have asthma. Like I thank God I haven't been in the hospital for 5 years. Before 5 years
Wow.
ago, I used to be in the hospital once a month for like two
Get
weeks. It
out
was
of
like
here.
I go to the hospital and be like, I'm home. But that's just how frequent I was in the hospital till
Mhm.
I only have 80% capacity on one lung. So a lot of times
Mm.
people say, how you keep going with all that going on? Well, as you know, I was over 300 pounds. I lost weight, gained some back. But basically with the capacity of being places, it scares you. Like, oh
Right.
my God, am I going to touch this surface? Because they're saying on plastic, it stay 12 hours. And then on this surface, it stay this time. And then when you wearing gloves, people are not handling the gloves correctly. So when they're not handling the gloves correctly, they're leaving germs all over the place. So it's like you don't know what to do at this point. So me trying to go into not say your church, but your church and turn your doorknob and I'm being careful and not careful.
Yeah.
Then I wipe my face because you can't. I mean, we do. We. I mean, you used to doing that. A
I've
habit that we
I've
can't
touched
break.
my face a handful of times since we've been on this live stream.
That's it because you don't remember to the point now your hands are just dry because you're sanitizing every time you think about it. So I mean, like again, I'm touching my face. So it's we're gonna have to figure out a medium to actually do it. I see the celebrities are having concerts with their full bands. I'm like, separating them 6 feet is not going to stop something that's I cough in the air or and then you walk through
Right.
it and it's still lingering there for 3 hours and it just I mean we up in arms. I mean you got some churches saying that they're not stopping their service, they're going to have their service. Then you have the pastors that saying, listen, I want you guys to be safe, saved, and come back to me when all this is over. So I mean we're at a toss up as believers.
Yeah.
I got a toss up because I ain't been to nowhere since they said that we got a pandemic. I ain't been to no concerts. People like, are you coming out? No, I'm sorry. Stream it live. I'll watch it on my phone.
Yeah.
Stream it
But
live, baby.
God is faithful, and I am certainly believing that when we come out of this, that not only will there be glory, but we'll be able to actually have physical fellowship again.
And
And I'm
testimonies.
looking forward to that.
And testimonies. So listen, tell us a little bit about your. I'm not going to hold you long because I know you're a busy person. So tell us a little bit about the Back to Basics sermon series, so that we can let the
Yes.
people know what to be encouraged with tomorrow.
Yes. So the Back to the Basics sermon series I believe that it was prophetic in a sense, in that I had already scheduled to start this sermon series, but it was supposed to be at our new location. But 3 weeks into our new location, we had to go online because of COVID-19, aka coronavirus, and DBA Corona May, right? So since she been wreaking havoc, we have had to go online, and so we launched this series back to the basics, which is really us going back to the things that matter, to God, which is our relationship with Him. It is prayer, it is family, it is His Word. Going back to those foundational things that can't be shook, whether
Right.
that is a virus, whether that's a hurricane, that's a flood, that's a storm, that is death, that is divorce. Some things in our lives should be so solid and foundational that they shouldn't be shook. So that's what back to the basics is about, is getting us back to the point in where we just believe God for who He is. Even if we don't understand Him, I still believe that God is God and that He's in control of everything that's going on. And I take comfort and I rest in the fact that I'm His. And God, if there's one thing in the Bible that is sure, story after story, testament after testament, is God takes care of His own. David penned that I've been young and I've been old. In one translation, it says that I've been young and I've been gray beard, but I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed beg for bread. I'm not begging for a stimulus. I'm waiting on God to give me my bread. And if that be a stimulus check, then so be it. Give me them
Hallelujah.
1,200 plus five per child. Give me all
That's
my
it.
coins.
Give me all that they're gonna take back next year on our taxes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're gonna take
Which
that.
is what
I listen. I tell people, I say y'all can get it, but they're gonna come back and they're gonna snatch it back. They're gonna be like,
But as
oh,
business owners, Kenya, though, we got some extra stuff in there that we got to figure out. We got some extra coins in there. Listen, but if y'all want to watch this sermon series, please follow the P3 Church Facebook page, which is facebook.com P3 Church FL. Or you can go to our website, p3churchfl.com /ecampus. We are trying to embrace this new shift. Join us Sundays at 11 a.m. And we would love to have you in the place. Now, if you visit us, make sure that you comment, make sure you like, and make sure that you share so that you can bless your family and friends with the message and a word from the Lord.
all right. So listen, let me just say this to you. I want to thank you so much because, and I don't know why I didn't start with you. I went down a list of pastors and I say, hey, listen, I want you to come on and talk about your transition from um, being on a pulpit to being on your living room couch, and no one would come in. I got
Why
no
not?
response. I don't know. They probably think I was gonna be petty, but it's okay. You know what I mean? And then when I inboxed you last night, I said, well, who else? I kind of got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about it. Something hit
Yeah.
me last night and said, inbox Pastor Rich. So then you
That
didn't
was
answer
the
me
Holy
back.
Ghost.
That was the
Hey.
Holy Ghost. And I said, well, Pastor Rich be busy. And you answered me back. And I was actually up because I don't know if you know Torrance Grice. Torrance Grice was hosting a live gospel party last night.
Oh, was he?
And he had a 3 hour party last night. And it was so, listen, I'm going to tell you something. I want to really tell this young man,
Uh-huh.
jokingly, he was joking about it, but
Yeah.
I've been around some radio announcers,
Uh-huh.
and I think that he got it.
Yeah.
And he had me engaged for it was 4 hours from 9 o'clock, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. It was 1 o'clock in the morning when this young man clicked off.
What?
And that's what time I went to bed because he was basically just engaging with his audience. He was actually, I'm talking about, I got to inbox him and tell him, that was really a
Wow.
good show last night. And he may want to continue to do that to help out our small and medium areas of gospel right here in South Florida and abroad. and that
I
could be
agree.
something he do. So that's a way to bring. I mean, he didn't realize he was praise dancing to every song. So he had some people came on and told him, play this song. So he would try to go out of the gospel and go somewhere else. He like, nah, let me
Yeah,
go back into So you can tell
yeah,
people was coming in and say, oh, play this person. He said, okay, I'll
yeah.
play it. So he'll try to play the world music. Well, he was like, I
But it
can't do
didn't
that.
work.
It came right back in. So when you inboxed me, I was like, can you do it tomorrow at 5 o'clock? And you looking at the phone like, this girl is crazy because I wanted
Yeah.
to basically get a series out myself to say with the transitioning from the pulpit to the couch, because there's so many pastors are now sitting at home at their kitchen table and they're doing Sunday school and they don't know how to engage. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you about this software. If any pastors listening, the software for this one for the medium is $25. You can
Hmm.
stream to two different places. I
Yeah.
stream $25. I pay $25. Well, I pay a little more, but $25 a month
Okay.
gets you two destinations.
Wow. Can
It's
can you do lower thirds?
yes, I just don't do them. I don't do them like I supposed to because I'm just lazy like that. Um, so I don't actually do them. I supposed to. Like this is my
Okay,
you
got
know
it. Yeah.
and I can do
Got it.
everything here. Everything works here. There's also another software you can use which to make it more better. And when you add more people in, and like I showed you before, I can make you smaller, make me bigger, um,
Mm-hmm.
and
Saw
different
that.
things like that. So I can bring in your flyers, and also we could do the background. And then some of my backgrounds is giving you a tutorial so that these pastors know I'm not a sponsor or I don't promote StreamYard, but you
Mm.
could do that. So tomorrow morning I'll be doing church check-in, and the only thing you'll get is this, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll still be live. But you're able to check in your church. So at that point, I'll be able to engage the comment, like Michael Lee. You're able to bright light the comment and put up,
Right.
the
So
notes.
on that now that part is very nice. Because as a preacher who likes a talk back church,
Right, right.
that is the closest thing to a talk back experience, right?
Right, and you can choose which one that you want to put
Yeah.
up. So you can choose which comment you want to show or which comment you don't. Now, if I wanted to send the link to someone else, I can immediately bring them in. If you say, "Oh well, let's bring in Sister So and So," or whatever. So what I'll do is I would basically be able to send them the link immediately, and you saw how easy it was
Yeah.
to to
Right,
bring
right.
to bring it in. Now they have the ticker, which is basically you'll be able to have your strolling information that goes along the bottom. You're tuned into the
Hmm.
Hot Topics pop-up show, and it'll let you know. And even if you wanted to put whatever there, you can, and it has the lower thirds. Also,
Okay.
you can bring in your intros. I haven't done all that yet. I do it, but I
Okay.
just sometimes I'm just ready for just the basics. But you're able to put in
Right.
intros if you want to before you start your live. You can actually put
Yeah.
in a 30-second intro that
And
says,
boom.
and
Get
boom,
out
here
of
it
it.
is. Right. So you have your lower thirds. You have your brands. You can change it. Like you see my background. My
Hmm.
background is hot topics. But if I want to change my background to your flyer,
Wow.
I can change it.
Amazing.
Make adjustments and change it to your flyer. Um, I can change it to the praise and worship experience if I want, which is it doesn't show well. So we always keep the hot topics up. So you can remove and replace, and if a person is there, I can mute your mic. So if you're
Okay.
there and you're giving me too much background, I can mute your mic. So you control, and we have a green room that if I want to chat with you privately, to say stuff privately, I can chat with you privately. So this is a software that is good if you're trying to do Sunday school. I mean, Bible study, and
Yeah.
it's worth the $25 because you can bring in yourself, your teacher, or a couple people that you can engage in people doing, and it's economical. It's not
Right.
expensive, and again, if you only want to go to two destinations, then at that time you can. Now, what you can do is, and I'm just actually, you can share your screen. Let me see what I'm sharing before I start sharing. So let me just show you real quick. Yeah, because on Facebook, I don't know if my Facebook is on right now, so I want to make sure that I'm on the right thing. So if I wanted to share my screen, let me just try to find it. Hold on one
Right.
second. Because I don't want to share the wrong thing. I'm just trying to give a sample. They'll be like, oh my God, what is
Uh-huh.
Kenya got going on there? Now my Facebook for some reason telling me I'm not logged in. Hold on a second. So they have a way that you're able to share your screen, and what you'll do is you'll go to here they call it a studio. So you'll share your screen, and what it tell you is you share the screen options. It tell you that if you want to do the Chrome tab, Facebook, you'll share my Facebook page.
Okay.
So
And
you're
boom,
able,
it's
and
sharing your
boom,
page.
there,
Yeah.
we're sharing my screen.
Right.
So it shares your screen. It take you out and it'll share your screen on what's on my Facebook page. I can go to, um, let's see if I go to George Rich page. So just a quick tutorial for churches that kind of need something that's economical on how to engage in their audience, as well as Sunday school is running slow because y'all know Facebook
Right.
streets are busy right now. Y'all got the Facebook streets busy.
Right.
Y'all
And
got
so
the Facebook
what
street.
if right? And what if one wanted to maybe throw up sermon slides with the
Right. Well,
points?
right now, let me just tell you what happened with that. Right. So what
Mhm.
happened with that is Facebook. They are working on longer, but you only can put 30 seconds. But you can share your stream through here.
Oh, you can share the screen in place. Okay.
Right. You can share your screen. So it's a thing that says share your screen. So when you go to that share the screen mechanism, it asks you if you want to share your entire screen, the application window, or the Chrome tab.
Okay.
So you can basically come out and actually I can run your sermons. I can run whatever I want from the share your screen mechanism. So if I wanted to basically share your sermon or share something, I can do that through the share your screen mechanism. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
So this is a way for churches to be able to have Bible study. Again, if you're able to, you can. Let's just throw up one of my sponsors. The sponsor, if you, I'm sorry, on the wrong screen. If you want to throw up one of yourself, like yourself, this is this. Now again, because the way I have it set up, I don't have it positioned properly, but it will
Uh-huh.
show that. So if you wanted to show that, and you're
Okay.
saying, this is what you want
Eh,
everybody to see. You can show that like
right.
your Sunday school lesson. Now I use it as a way to scratch my face and do things. I can show up. Let me show you this flyer. If I want to go do something, I use it as a way to
Yeah.
kind of like maneuver in the page. But
Right.
this is a good software that you can use for churches that are trying to ask questions or trying to engage or um, like I said, you can share it. Like I said, I just sat here and shared this to my personal page. I sat here and shared it to your page. So you can tag all your people in it. You see the comments as they're coming in. You can highlight the important comments. And as you go, like I can say right now, say for instance, you say, hey, let's bring in John Brown. John
Right.
Brown, you'll be able to go back to your screen right now, and I can send an email address. I can send an email to John Brown and bring John in, and he'll pop up as the
Mhm.
third person on the screen. So at that point, you'll be able to communicate with him, and he'll be on the screen, and he'll see the same thing that you're seeing.
Right.
So this is a way to conduct Bible study from home. This is a way that you can
Awesome.
just put it to your church page, and a way that you're able to conduct meetings. Now let me tell you, you don't have to go live. There's a
Good.
there's a back room you can record and go live later.
Mm.
So some people, and then again, if you don't want to show your picture, you can go audio. So I've had people that say, Kenya, I look a hot mess. Let me do audio. So you'll see my picture, but you'll see their audio.
Mm.
So if you just
Okay.
wanted to be audio at that point, like Sylvia Woods, like she said, yes, thank you for the recommendation. It's working fine for our church. So Sylvia Woods inboxed me one night. She's like, hey, sis. And again, Kenya is transparent. Some people will be like, I ain't going to tell them how to do this. I'm not going to
Yeah.
tell them what I use. You call me, I'm going to tell you. So Sylvia Woods inboxed to say, what are you using? I said, StreamYard. Because you can do one of two things. You can go live on your page, or you can record it for later. Now, the good part about this is you can download this to your computer. You can save
Hmm.
the stream. And when you save the stream, you can edit it and chop out what you don't want and what you do want.
Mm.
So StreamYard is the way to go for smaller churches that don't have the budget to pay for Sling. Sling is like $500 a month. I don't recommend that to nobody. When I first started out, I was using Sling. Sling wasn't $500. They was only
Wow.
like $200, and I couldn't afford it. I was like, oh God, what am I going to do? I can't afford it. So I got the Meebo sister using Vimeo. There's a software
Okay.
called Vimeo. Now Vimeo is a little bit more better because the lower thirds are better and it's more intense and you can move things around. Vimeo is really really good, but Vimeo I think is like $35 a month for that. Then you have Blaze. So Blaze is enough. So there's so many software that you can use, but out of everything that I have used, this has seemed to be the most convenient, the ease of use, and trust me, you can talk to them people 24 hours a day.
Mm.
And then like
Wow.
you can add your mic on. I don't have my mic done because as you notice, I'm in Fort Lauderdale because you. So
Yeah.
at home in Delray, I have the mic. You can add your mic system. You can add everything to this, and you can add a background. Now, like how you have that now. There's a screen that you can put up and put that on the back, but you don't have to have that background.
Wow. Okay.
So you can put up a
Awesome.
green screen behind me, which is
Uh-huh.
King, you too lazy. Sorry. There's a green screen, and you can actually use your background to basically use that instead of having to have put your background up to use it. You can save
Mhm.
it as one of your brands and use it that way. And this is really really good because it allows you to go in and play with it prior to going live,
Yeah.
and it allows you to set up your branding. It allows you to set up what you want to do. It allows you, like for instance, this is a young lady who booked. I did. This is um, Elaine Nelson book. So all that stays in the system, and you can actually just say slide one, slide two, or you can do it from the share the screen if you want to use
Right.
slides in order to get your point across for your Bible study. So if you have um, the software, if you do have a PowerPoint, you can do it right from here, and you're off to the side.
Wow.
So
Okay.
my
Love it.
recommendations for smaller church, and I thank you for coming on, but we want to teach the people them, and we want them to leave with
Yeah.
some nuggets, and without us saying y'all shouldn't be having church. So y'all can't say we came in and said y'all can't be having church. We actually gave y'all some tips and pointers.
Right.
For $25, y'all can stream to two destinations. If you and me personally, if you have two cell phones like myself, get you a good tripod. Run out to Walmart, put your mask on. Run out to Brandsmart. Brandsmart has a tripod, which is my favorite tripod. It's $14.99. Get two of those. Set both your phone this way. This way. Life and horizontal is better. Because I see people going live like this. What happens is you're only capturing this. Life in horizontal is better. Life in horizontal is better, people. If you
Well, now, like I have been seeing that trend, right, of holding the phone like this. That I think it works when you're doing something informal. Not if it's a formal like Sunday service or a
right,
Bible study. This is the way to go.
right,
But if you walking down the street or you in your laundry room and you just get a revelation that you need to share,
yeah,
then do it this way.
yeah. But if you're basically, and me personally, I'm sorry, I'm just going to my purse. I don't have my other bag, but I keep a tripod head. I'm trying to find it. I'm sorry. I keep a mount in my purse at all times. Crazy. Yeah, that is. So I keep a tripod mount in, in my in my purse at all times because you never know when you're gonna have to go. Um, when you're gonna have to go. There it is. I don't have my mic. See, you make me feel bad. I don't have my roll mics. I don't have anything with me.
Pastors, get you a shotgun mic. Get you a shotgun mic. Hook it up to your phone. Hook it up to your camera. It'll give you a better sound quality instantly without even
Right,
having a mixer.
right, right. A shotgun roll mic.
Also, one more.
He telling all my secrets, y'all.
We don't have time to explain this to y'all tonight, but just do yourself a favor and get you an iRig too.
Man, I'm mad. I done got my stuff with me. Why you ain't let me? Oh,
Get you an iRig too.
I want to run out to the van now and get my toys. I'm mad. I want a position. We got to come back and
Listen,
show our toys.
this is more valuable than a keyboard player right now. I don't hear nobody. This is more valuable than a band. Is this little $40 iRig too? Changes your whole media ministry. Get you one.
Now explain what that does, because I have the iRig and I also have the media mount. The media mount basically plugs in my mics, plugs in my it's in my van, and I ain't going out there because I have to wipe the
Right.
doors down. But it's a little iRig and it connects to my laptop because I'm running through my. I think you're using your phone, right? Tonight,
Now, yes.
right? So I'm using my laptop, which just has a webcam on it. So I use a
Okay.
webcam, and I also plug in through my little mixer, which has my mic, and it actually has like you could put anything else. It has like a little box, and it has a thing, and it plug up everything to it, like your
Mhm.
shotgun mic. So that is really really good. So you explain the iRig because that's important.
Yes. So the iRig takes the feed coming out of your mixer and it compresses it to a level, because I'm not that techy with it, but it brings it down to a level that is conducive for a phone or a camera.
Right,
So if you have ever watched someone's live, great video quality, but the audio sounds like there's World War IV going on, a lot of
right,
static and all this stuff going on. That's because they just ran just a hotline from the mixer into the phone or the camera. This compresses the sound and gives it a more qualitative touch. Trust me, you will hear the difference immediately than just taking a raw live feed into your phone or camera. I rig
right.
too.
iRig too,
Now
guys.
these are going like hotcakes. I think Amazon has re-upped on these, but this is what you want to get: the iRig 2.
iRig too, yeah. Like right now, I'm not plugged into my. I'm not plugged into anything. It's up straight to the laptop, so you can tell the
Right.
difference. But you can tell the difference when I'm with this background and when I'm in Delray, because
Yeah.
when I'm here, I don't have all my equipment. But when I'm in
Mhm.
Delray, when I'm sitting at the kitchen table,
Yeah.
I have all this stuff going on.
Right.
So pastors, get you a good mic. Pastors, get you a good webcam. And I'm tell y'all something. Amazon is on 10 right now. They are delivering the
Yeah.
same day. I'm like trying to figure out what they're doing. You order
Yes.
something,
Yes.
you order something at 8 o'clock, by 5 o'clock they here. I'm like, wait a
It's
minute.
already there. And
So pastors,
pastor, get you invest in some quality lighting. Some of you all have exceptional ministries that the world needs to actually see you in your living room. Get you two two light cameras. I'm sorry, light
ring lights.
bulbs, green lights, stage lights, whatever they are, with the lamps and the umbrellas is the ones that I
Right.
use. And I know that they have these new ring lights. Yes, yes, that
I
gives you
gotta
an extra lighting
like
so that we don't see you as Batman giving Bible study, but we can actually see the pastor and his
amen.
face while he's giving Bible study.
Amen. 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 So I don't listen. I am getting ready to move into a studio. So I am just so excited over the next couple of months.
Yes.
Miss Cora, Auntie Cora, has
Yeah. Huh.
so she is. So what happens is then I won't be lazy no more. See, I can be honest with people. I'm lazy, so I don't feel like putting that tripod up with a black green screen. As you know,
Right.
sometime I put up the backdrop with my logos on it, so everything will be set up, and I just have to just sit down. So it is so important within this transition because people they want quality in everything they do, and if they don't see quality, they're gonna log off.
Yeah.
So
Quality matters,
quality
and it
matters.
really matters.
So we want to make sure that, and I want to thank you again. Like I said, I inboxed a lot of pastors, and say, hey, listen, I want to capture your transitioning. And I know someone may call me now and be like, oh, I was busy, I didn't get your post, but I'm still bring them on when they come and tell them that
Yeah.
the same thing. But I want to thank you because you're helping the people, and this is what we need in this day and age to help the older community, help the churches that say they never want to go live, and help the sisters that's out there going live for the pastors. Pastors, buy
Yeah.
that sister a tripod.
Yes. Oh my
Cause
God.
she in church holding the camera like this. Say, pastor, know that you can know that you cannot engage with the pastor when you are the video person,
Yeah.
cause you're howling in the screen.
Invest
You
in a tripod.
and pastors go out to Brandsmart. I'm mad, not man. I should have been in my van. I'm mad. Wait a
It's that
minute.
simple, pastors. Take the tripod that you already have.
I got a top.
Buy you a little $8, $10 cell phone and put it on the tripod, just like a camera.
And give it to your ministry. See, I have to keep one in my. Listen, I got one in every. I lose them so much till I got one in my
Buy
purse.
5 of them.
Listen, who you telling? Can you do this for a living? Can you got one in each little section of the van? I got one in the door. I got one in the backpack. I got one in my purse because I don't want
Yeah.
to get nowhere and then I don't have that top for my phones. And plus, I run 2 phones. But I'm telling y'all, pastors, go out or go to Amazon and buy your members that are trying to help you using a phone. Have them flip it and put the phone on a tripod like that. I see people, they going live and they like trying to get people. I'm like, so, I wish I had a lot of money because I would just buy a bunch of tripods and just give it to people because I'm like, Lord Jesus. And a lot of times you don't realize that I got a tripod that sit on my counter and that only cost me $6.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
Yeah.
so pastors, if you got the sister in the church because you don't have a software, buy the sister a tripod and tell her shut up. Because she can't be saying, say pastor! Because we don't want to hear all that in the feed. We want to
Right.
hear what's going on in the church. And I'm going to tell you another thing, another secret I learned in Facebook. When y'all raising the offering, go to commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Just log off. We'll be back. I know it may be 2 different lives, but a lot of times the church, this is what happens is people outside the church don't understand the financial realm that it takes money to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
People say, oh, they just trying to collect money. Well, that building got to pay either the mortgage or the lease or the rent. Because a lot of places are renting plate spaces. Their light bill
Facts.
have to be paid. The musicians have to be paid. The salaries have to be paid. You got to pay. So it's not about the pastor getting all the money. And that's
Right.
what people are just saying, oh, I bet all that's going to the pastor. So sometimes because the narrow mind of people, oh Lord forgive me, the people think thought process, we have to say we have to keep our finances off social media. So,
Right.
like with yourself, if you're using the software and you're getting ready to do your offering, what you can do is basically download a clip, share your screen and play something,
Which
doing
is
that.
exactly what we did. Versus me doing it live and asking for an offering. That I went to the announcements, which was pre-recorded, a
Right,
different person asking and telling the church and those that was viewing how to give to the ministry.
right,
Because you are so right, Kenya. Now it is not just the church potentially watching us, and not just our church watching us. People that don't know our heart, they don't know our integrity. All they see is a preacher asking for money.
right,
But if we just got to be a little bit more tactful with that, and yeah, think about using a pre-recorded clip, video clip of somebody else even
right.
asking the persons to give.
Right. And again, with this software, you can share your screen. The first time I did it, I actually streamed singing pastors from it. Clips. I made a
Oh,
clip
did
of
you?
15. Yeah, I did it with the first time I did this share your screen thing. I basically I did a video, 15-minute video on my phone on my software. I put it to YouTube and I played YouTube showing the 15-minute clip of singing pastors. So I was able to do that. So you were able to go and create you a commercial or create you something, share the software during that time, like I was showing you, share the screen and run a commercial. And you got 15 minutes to get back over here and say, yeah, we want to, you come back and say, hey, it's a little bit of work. But right now we have to make it work because again, I see everybody when they say, "Oh, I can't believe they're setting up cash apps." Well, how bills are going to get paid if we don't do cash app? We don't do giving tree. How are we going to? And I worked in finance in the church, so I think I understand it a little differently because at the end of the day, the pastor don't get all that money. He gets a salary. The pastor don't get all that money. We still got
No,
to.
he doesn't get all the money.
The musicians want they 150 every Sunday. Not one. The keyboard player, The praise and worship
which is a
singers.
whole nother conversation, by the way, Kenya, is, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I think that that's pertinent right there, right? Talking about church finances, the church and churches employ people, not just the pastor. You have musicians that have relied on whatever their wages is from the church. Now that the church isn't necessarily gathering, we still have to figure out a way, like any other employer, how do we still honor our musicians that have been serving,
Right.
and still giving them some level of something, right? So I think that another level of talk that needs to happen within the church community, and maybe they are, because I'm not a musician, but I think they need to also start thinking about this whole system that we have created. Because as we continue online, how are they making do?
But I think I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I
Hmm.
think this is humbling some of the musicians out,
Because they're
and
kind of not in demand right now.
they're not in demand right now. But they have to think back to the thing when you call them and say, "Hey, can you do this for me?" Now I don't do that for that kind of money. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing.
But you
What you
ain't
doing
working in
now?
3 weeks.
Yeah. So
Mm.
I think that this is a humbling experience for a lot of people,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are being humbled.
Right.
Musicians are like, okay, so what am I going to do now? Because this is my job. You're not essential right now because you got
Church
to.
is not open. Clubs not open. Events not happening. Those are all other places and where you would utilize a musician.
And at this point, I would think that this platform will be ringing off the hook. Not saying because I would think that every day I'll be going live with somebody to provide exposure while you're in this downtime, because right now what everybody is doing is streaming on Facebook because they ain't got nothing else to do. They churn driving
Correct.
them crazy, and
Like,
basically right now this is the platform that you should be calling Kenya. What's up? I know I ain't talked to you in 84 Sundays, but listen.
two, now my in addition to being a pastor, I am a business consultant. People come to me all the time with their business idea or their business and try to help them figure it out. If I was a musician, there are two streams of income that
Hmm.
that I would be working on right now. One is producing original music for churches, even if it's just an introduction music clip. Because with this CCLI licensing and Facebook shutting it down, you can produce just a 2 minute, 3 minute soundbite clip, introduction music, and shout that out to like pastors and churches. That's
Right.
one. Number two is you should have a band that is willing to do pre-recorded sessions with churches and their worship team.
Right.
I will be killing the game right now.
And the thing is, let me tell you about the CCLI license. CCLI license is when you're doing covers.
Mm.
I have a CCLI license. I know I ain't got no
Okay.
church. Don't ask me why I
Nah.
got one, but I got one because when when I went to the training and I went to the class. See, that's the thing. Can't stay going to classes. When I went to the
Mhm.
class, it sounded good, so I was able to get one under my radio station to be able to stream here. So with the
Wow.
CZ, but I actually don't need one because again, a lot of the music that's going out from independent is not
Is
registered properly.
independent.
They basically ain't registered their music properly, so they're not getting their royalties in it. Oh God, let me just stop. Okay, so what happens is when Facebook plays this music, right? When they play this music, they basically you play the music. Like say you play Kirk Franklin. So once ASCAP, BMI are one of the pros hear the music through Facebook, you got to pay them people. They 7 cents. Can you imagine if all the people on Facebook is playing Kirk Franklin? That's a lot of 7 cents. So the money is being summoned through Facebook. So that's why you have to put I don't own the rights to this music. But that really doesn't work unless you have a streaming license. My thing is, I'm gonna tell people before they get a streaming license. Every church should have a streaming license if they're gonna do more than covers.
Hmm.
A streaming license is a little bit more economical. Then you work your way to CCLI. CCLI really for mass churches because you're looking at a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's just like having a license to run a radio station. You're looking at
Hmm.
$3,000 a year. So I can't
Wow.
tell a mom and pop like my church, we got on a good Sunday 20 people in there that you want to pay
Right.
$3,000 a year, we'll go under. But I can tell my church to get a streaming license. That way you're equipped it, and on the back end, if my church ever want to start a radio station, we can, because we're already equipped it to have our radio station. Like if you want to get a radio station, you say, "Oh, P3 now does independent music, or we play with a radio
Right.
station," because now that's why you see a lot of churches have radio stations because of the streaming license.
Wow.
So there's a lot that go to this, and I'm just, I get discouraged a lot. This is a transparent moment because I try to talk to the artists and I say, listen, artists, you don't have this right. Your intro not right. And they tell me, oh, but the producer. Let me tell you something about a producer. The producer is here to make your money. They got your
Cha-ching.
money and gone. They don't know.
Cha-ching.
They don't know radio. They don't know how radio works. So they don't got your little $2,000, and guess what? You can't even get your music on radio because it's too long and the intro too far. And then you want to know why you ain't going nowhere, but then you ready to cut the next album. You ain't worked that first album yet because your producer does not know the business.
Right.
And I tell people, I said, you see me, I say, a lot of times I tell people, y'all see me traveling, y'all see me in all this stuff. Why y'all don't ask the question? Why you ask the question? And then when I inbox you and say, I love the song, but your intro too long. Oh, well, where are you trying to go? I'm trying to go to the Stellars. You'll never make it. I'm sorry.
Mm.
If that's where you're going, you ain't going to make it.
It matters.
It matters. In numbers, and then a young lady asked me the other day, she said, what is streaming? I'm like, what is, how you are, what and I, it just, the thing is, the church has all these artists growing out of their churches. They're supporting them, but they're really not supporting them because how many churches are saying, hey, Kenya, I need you to come to my church. I got 3 artists that sing here. I need you to sit down and talk to them and have a powwow so that my church can grow with artists and I can see them at the Stellars. And as a pastor, I can be at the Stellar with my pastor, with my artists.
Right. Right.
We want to support our own, but I fought a lot of people that just don't want to learn. They just want to put a song out. Then they want to come to your church and sing it, and they want you to get them $500.
Don't start, Kenya. Don't start.
You want $500? Who are you? And it's seriously, it's like you're a local celebrity. Local celebrities don't do nothing. Back in the day, it did. Local celebrities don't do nothing for me because I've sat in airplanes with people. I've sat in radio stations with people. So, I mean, this should be a humbling experience. Pandemic should be a humbling experience for everybody. For
Yes.
artists, it should be for pastors, because some of y'all, not you, but some of y'all want $1,000 to come and scream and just give me the same sermon I heard on YouTube that you don't watch YouTube and got the sermon from somebody else. And then you don't come and you don't told me you want $1,000 to come and talk for an hour and then preach for another hour. And my
Listen.
attention span is only 20 minutes.
Listen, preaching schedules are almost non-existent right now. Traveling gospel artists and venues and shows, it is dried up right now. It is such a humbling experience for us all, but certainly those who maybe had gotten full of themselves, because now we don't care how
We treat
good you
people.
can sing or how good you can preach. None of it matters right now. And I think that everybody should be embracing this with
Everybody.
such humility and with such grace. Like, God, thank you that
Yes.
my life wasn't built around some personality, but it's built around you.
Yep, I thank God. I thank God for my many blessings. I thank God that I have been in popular demand this week. I'm talking
Mhm.
about, pastors have got mad with me because I wouldn't come to their church. I say, sir, I'm not coming there. I don't mean no harm. You don't have no faith. Well, you can call it what you want to call it, but I'm not coming to your church. If you want me to walk you through it through the phone, we could do FaceTime. I got 2 iPhones. Call one of
I
them.
can walk
But
you through it.
I'm not coming to your church. Go to YouTube. But I'm not
Yeah.
coming to your church because I will not risk my family. Not only do I need to come home to a church, but I mean, come home to my mother and come home to my daughter, come home to my fiance. I don't want to make everybody sick, because I wasn't careful.
Gotta be responsible.
I wasn't careful, and I'm just not thinking, and I done touched something, and then I touched something, and then you got to deal with being quarantined. No, sir, StreamYard is the best thing to use, or go get your sister in the church, and buy them a tripod, and let them stream until we can do better, because that's
Yeah.
where we at right now. It's at a time, and I thank God for your, because I watched you last week. I was like, wait a minute, Pastor Rich, look at you. I know I've been to your church and I seen that you put the camera up and you
Yeah.
stream from, and I seen your live stream, so you pretty good. But
Yeah.
I do want to honor you to say, I thank you for helping pastors out, because you could be like, I ain't helping these dudes. These dudes
Yeah.
don't support me. These dudes don't even like my posts. These dudes don't even share my posts. These dudes don't even come when I call them. They don't even want to even do it. I'm saying it. You can't say it. I'm saying it for you. I called them, asked them to come to revival. They want $3,000. $3,000.
Yeah.
My congregation ain't
Yeah.
that big. So the thing is, I thank you, and I think that your spirit is just humbling to say, "Hey man, set up this, set up." I mean, I'm telling you, I was on phones all week. Listen, get cash out. Oh, we can't get cash out. I say, why not? You can't. I say, I got a business cash out and a regular cash out. You can get it back. You ain't gotta go to the bank. Why you going to the bank for? Just put you know what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
apples and oranges. So again, I want to give a shout out to P3. Y'all have always loved me. I love John Brown. John Brown is like my
Yes.
favorite. Look, John Brown. If y'all listen, y'all better not get John Brown nothing, because John Brown got to scream for me. John Brown, if you're listening, I do not want you at these people churches, funerals, bar mitzvahs,
I
parties.
told him.
I don't care who it is. You stay home, cause I
Jesus
need
said, "Let
you.
the dead bury the dead." And I don't mean to be insensitive, but
John
hey,
Brown, you stay
if they
home.
ain't screaming the funeral, I ain't coming.
Stream John Brown, stay home. I need you, because I need you to. I love you. Now everybody else, y'all do what y'all want to do. Y'all grown. John Brown is my son, and I need him to get back over that P3. Listen, I was coming to the church to surprise you, and then we went through this.
Um,
I was like, man,
bless you.
I can't go to the church. I don't know what day you got food, but I just want to go to the church. But you know,
Bless you.
so I will be
Thank
on
you for
live
having me too.
tomorrow. I will be on live tomorrow. I'm supposed to keep you for 30 minutes. It's an hour and 30 minutes, but
Yeah.
this is when you're educating the people, and I hope that we've reached some people to let them know what they can use. And if you need more information on StreamYard, just to run your Sunday school or Bible study, listen, go and look up YouTube. I'm just joking. You give me a call. But YouTube, and the thing about StreamYard is they have a class every Sunday night in the StreamYard community that
Hmm.
the two founders actually go on and answer questions using their platform.
Wow.
So when I tell you the owners of a software come together and say, hey, this is StreamYard and we want to, they're in two different places and they're basically breaking down StreamYard and telling you the new launches and the new things. This is what you need to keep your church going until the church go back. Because them other ones are
Amen.
expensive, hon. So we want to thank you. I ain't gonna hold you much longer. Go ahead and get your sermon ready for tomorrow.
Thank you. God bless you, Kenya. Thank you to all of your listening audience, viewing audience. God bless you all. And again, if you want to connect with P3 Church, go to our Facebook page or you can go to our website, www.p3churchfl.com. And I am not ashamed to ask, because this isn't my platform, this is Kenya's platform. If the Lord leads you, sow a seed. p3churchfl.com/give. God bless you all.
God bless you. Thank you, Pastor. You have a good evening.
You too.
So listen, you guys heard him. If you want to sow a seed to P3 Church, please do. This is he listen Sundays at 11 o'clock. He's at an e-campus. That means that we are going to streaming only. So the P3 Church FL.com, P3 Church Florida on Facebook. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all what's going on right here. So I'm gonna let y'all know this. If you look at the way he's marketing this church, I'm not a prophet and I ain't prophetic. But I'm telling you, the way that he's setting up this church is, I guarantee you, in the next 2 years, he's going to be a mega church, because he's setting this church up to become major. I love the way he promote. I love the way he market, and I love the way he brand. Look at this flyer, y'all. I love his marketing. I know he does business and that's what he do, but I love his marketing. And again, I'm going to share because I was unable to download his information about. I was unable to download his information about the course that he's doing, so I'm going to share it right here on the platform. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I wasn't going to go live this long. I was only going to do 45 minutes, but we begin to, when you start engulfing into a conversation that matters, this is what happened. Especially with Pastor Rich. I'm going to bring him back on. We need to bring some musicians on to talk about the effects of right now, um, what's going on in the industry without working. So, any musicians out there that want to come onto the platform and talk about what's going on with the pandemic, y'all hit me up, give me a call, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you about that. All right, I gotta go, guys. Again, I love you. Much love. We out.